Hello everybody. This time we are talking about the price mechanism. The price mechanism is the means by which decisions of consumers and businesses interact to determine the allocation of resources. The free market price mechanism clearly does not ensure an equitable distribution of resources and can lead to market failure. And then we move to the types of price mechanism. The first, market-based pricing, where prices are determined by supply and demand in a market. Second, freemium pricing, where companies offer both free and paid versions of a product or service, often targeting different customers segments. Third, cost plus pricing, where companies add a markup to their cost to determine prices. Fourth, penetration pricing, where companies offer low prices to enter a market and gain market share before raising prices later. Fifth, value-based pricing, where companies set prices based on the perceived value of their products or services to customers. And then we move to the advantages and disadvantages of the price mechanism. The main advantage of the price mechanism is that it allows for efficient allocation of resources as prices are determined by the forces of supply and demand. This ensures that resources are allocated to their most valued uses. However, the price mechanism can also lead to market failure as prices may not accurately reflect the true value of a good or service. Additionally, the price mechanism can lead to inequality as those with more money can outbid those with less money for goods and services. And then we move to the functions of the price mechanisms. The first function is about signaling. Prices act as signals to both producers and consumers, providing information about the relative scarcity of goods and the strength of demand. A high price signals that a good is in high demand or is scarce, encouraging consumers to buy less and producers to consider increasing productions. A low price signals the opposite, and consumers are encouraged to buy more while producers may reduce output. And then the second, rationing. Prices ration scarce goods and services by limiting demand to those who are willing and able to pay for them. When demand exceeds supply, prices rise, which discourages some consumers, thereby ensuring that the available supply is distributed among the remaining buyers. And then third, incentivizing. The possibility of higher profits provides an incentive for producers to allocate more resources to producing goods that consumers value more highly. When prices rise, producers are motivated to increase production by investing in new technology or improving efficiency. For consumers, higher prices provide an incentive to reduce consumptions, while lower prices incentivize them to produce more. And then fourth, allocating through the combined effects of signaling, incentives, and rationing. The price mechanism determines how society's limited resources are used. It directs resources into the production of goods and services that are most in demand by consumers, ensuring that they are used efficiently and in ways that align with consumer preferences. And then, how does the price mechanism affect the economy? The price mechanism affects the economy by influencing the allocation of resources and the distribution of income. By allocating and allowing buyers and sellers to freely negotiate prices, the price mechanism ensures that resources are allocated to their most valued uses. Additionally, the price mechanism can lead to inequality as those with more money can outbid those with less money for goods and services. And then we move to limitations of the price mechanisms. The advantages of the price mechanism are numerous, but it has its limitations too. Some people urge it an impersonal way of making economic decisions, and it is, however, in our way of thinking, this makes it more objective and less prone to nepotism or cronyism. There's also the issue of some goods and services that are more efficiently and fairly provided by the state. Security and military forces are two examples. And there is also the charge of inequality. People with money have buying power, and people without money do not. This is also true, but only to a degree. Imagine if the only meat those with money buy is grass-fed and organically reared in small quantities. How, as someone with fewer means, do you offer to eat meat? The answer, of course, is there is a market for cheaper meat produced under different conditions. And it is the price mechanism that allows this market to exist. It also takes time for price changes to filter through the economy, although digital technology speeds up this process. However, no system is perfect, and the price mechanism offers more advantages and fewer limitations than any other system we've come across. And then, how does the price mechanism impact different industries? The impact of the price mechanism varies across different industries. In some industries, such as technology and fashion, rapid changes in consumer preferences can lead to frequent shifts in the market. In other industries, such as utilities and healthcare, government regulations and other factors may limit the ability of the price mechanism to allocate resources efficiently. And then we move to the price mechanisms in different types of markets. The first about local market. An example of a local market, the farm market, as the produce is ground and then sold to the local citizens. The buyers and sellers can only interact within the local area that they are restricted to. And then the second, national market. The demand for goods is restricted to one specific country. And third, global market. The goods or services is one country can be bought and sold by the people of other countries. One of the largest markets consisting with people from several different countries on a global scale. I think this is enough. Thanks for watching.